coming to you today, Sunday afternoon, 2 days before Election Day. Thanking you for all the work you've put into this, for really getting to know each of the candidates. And I know there's a lot going on out there. And quite frankly, early on, I was obviously the underdog. And many of you decided that if I can expect my congressman to vote for what's right, even if he doesn't think that the outcome is there, then I'm going to vote for the congressman who I think is right for us, even if I don't know that the outcome is there. And so many of you put your support behind me and voted for me already or about to vote for me with that ideal. And so I would ask you in these last couple days to do just that. This is a primary. This is where you should absolutely vote your principle and your ideal, not listen to the media groups who are only focused on getting someone in who already has an IOU and will not rock the boat, so to speak. You know, Missouri, and this being northern Missouri specifically, there's so much potential we have, and yet so much is being strangled from us by bureaucracy. I'm from small town Missouri. The other two primary candidates, both from Kansas City, with much of the recent history outside of it, and I'll let you do your research on that. But my life revolves around rural Missouri and its economics. Raising my family here makes me think about what could I offer them in this area and what would their future be like to raise them here. And so I believe for that very reason, I am your best candidate in this primary. I am putting my faith first, being spirit-led, because whenever it comes down to it, the Bible's very specific. He says, if those who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, I will heal their land. I feel like I'm messing this up somehow, but will heal their land. And that's very specific to the people. We don't need everyone to get right. If the people who are called by his name will repent, will pray, and will do what's right, then our land will be healed. It just takes, and those of you voting in the primary already know it's really a small amount of the population, and we're principled. We care about the future and we're active in it. So I'm asking you to do that in this primary. What will help us the most, as we've traveled, been to over 130 events, it's been a wild 90 days for us, is to get involved by sharing this video or other content that you really think portrays who's the best candidate. I'm praying that that's me, that you're using discernment, and that using that, you're coming up with me as your right choice. So I'm asking for your vote, but prior to that, please contact 10 people this evening. Talk to them about me, talk to them about the race and why it's important, because this is deciding whether or not we send someone to Washington with IOUs, someone who's already making bad decisions on a city council without a family, without the perspective that comes from small town rural Missouri and its economics. I've got a business here. I'm raising my family here. I know what those levers are. They're very deep to me. I'm taking very practical steps from veterans where I'm proposing a freedom card. The veteran should be able to take the card similar to a health insurance card, go to the provider of his choice, get what he needs, whatever that provider believes he needs, and then bills the VA for it. It should not be an application process or a burden on that veteran. We should give the veteran what he needs. He's already served for us, for our country. We're happy to pay that. And because fraud and waste is a big concern, if that is going on, it would be on the provider side then, much easier for us to go after, and that's where it would rightly be gone after. Now, there's a few other things like data centers. I'm the only candidate calling for immediate withholding of the funds. The House of Representatives, the office I'm running for, has the power of the purse. We have the right to set qualifier on the funds. Those qualifiers should immediately be correct use of eminent domain, making sure that our ratepayers are not paying the burden of the development, while at the same time we're subsidizing the energy companies and the utility companies to provide the services. So there's very specific things we can do immediately to make sure that you are not taken advantage of. The secrecy behind it all. See, the federal government is actually directly funding these builds and is subsidizing or backing the banks to be able to make the loans for them. So we've got to do that on day one. Now, one of the first things I did was sign a pledge for term limits, and we're going to be able to get term limits passed in Congress. A vote for me is a vote for term limits. We're going to be able to get that done. There's a lot of things that whenever we talk about the farm bill and many things that need to be passed there, but one of the biggest issues with that is making sure that the tax money that's earned or the tariffs actually make it back down to the farmers, to the owner operators. Another very specific thing we're going to be able to do is pass legislation that makes our tax incentives that our farmers get actually apply to the owner operators. Right now, it's funneling out that money that's supposed to be going to help the farms are ending up in the hands of just a few people who are running massive operations, these corporate farms, and they're not making it down to the people who actually need it to work. We need to make sure that the farm to market roads and infrastructure is being maintained. So we need to go after fraud and waste. And this is something that we have the oversight to do. We just need to do it. We need to execute. And we actually need to be able to prosecute and push charges on. The SAVE Act, for example, is an area where the people who are here illegally, while we respect work ethic of a lot of these people, they're defrauding our system, and the people enabling it is defrauding our system. How? Well, they're not paying the taxes that we are. They're not paying FICA taxes. They're not paying, right? So that's your healthcare, Medicaid, Medicare. And that's what our seniors are relying on in order to have the healthcare for something they've paid into. And it's being broken by people who are not paying into that system. That is the definition of fraud, although I'm sure we need to get into a lot of the abuse of this system, make sure it's being used appropriately. So these are very active things that I will begin doing immediately for you to make sure that we have what we need. Another thing is these rural emergency services, just like your fire departments and your ambulances. We need to make sure that the emergency care, emergency rooms stay open in these rural areas so that life-saving care can be given. As our population gets older, we've got to make sure this is there for them. And quite frankly, with my wife is expecting as a young family, that's an active part of our decision making. Where we live is what happens if something happens to one of the children? What about childcare or like in birthing, the OB and all that? Where do we have a good doctor at? What are the options? These are things that make Missouri either a place people move to or move away from. I'm here to build North Missouri for our future generation. And so I'm asking that you get involved in this. The biggest thing that the average watcher can do is to share this video, to share content. Call 10 people this evening, talking to them about what we're doing, about why it would be important. And that's where I went into the diatribe. But this is what I'm asking you. Now, if you can donate even $5, $10, $25, those of you who can donate quite a bit more, we're just using this the next couple days up until Tuesday to try to promote and get this video out and other videos like it to more people so that they have the ability to make a decision. Meanwhile, we're on the ground in all of these areas. If you would take it upon yourself to go to the polling places with a sign of ours, represent, we're trying to do the same. We're trying to mobilize ground crews. Obviously, this is a grassroots campaign, and so there's not a ton of infrastructure. Here at the top, it's me, a helper, our family, trying to get across the whole 6th district, more than 33 counties, to be able to get as much information as we can out to the people that we can. If you know friends or family who are older and don't have smartphones, don't watch videos, please take this to them, show them, get the word out to them, call them at the least, have a conversation about it. It means the world to me. And the whole purpose of me doing this is for our next generation, for our future. And so I can't say thank you enough to all the people at the more than 130 events we've been to all across these counties. It's been tremendous. One of the things that I'll miss about it the most is not being with you regularly. And I will be doing that consistently once I'm working for you in Congress. So thank you. As always, you're welcome to reach out to me. It's getting really backed up, and we're on crunch mode here. So I apologize if I'm slow in getting back. And anything you can do is very much appreciated. Most importantly, it's about spreading the word. If each one of you reaches 10 people with our message, then we've won the election without a problem. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. As you're talking with your family and friends, please bring this up. And I look forward to each one of you at the voting booth on Tuesday. Again, Nathaniel Schultz, and I appreciate your vote for Missouri's 6th Congressional District.